regarding the LiveCoin Exchange hack a few years ago, where Russian hackers got in and emptied it. I had Bitcoin on there. Well, I'm so sorry for your loss, Kyle. But back in 2021, I emailed the site, and the response I received was asking for more personal info than I was comfortable in giving, so I left it alone. I realized my Bitcoin is not recoverable, but since the info about where it went should be on chain, is there any info on where it went? Great question. And again, everybody be super, super careful, super vigilant. Like last week, everybody was freaking out about holding fiat at banks and where they could park it for safety. It takes a lifetime to accumulate wealth and a second to lose it. So everybody just really, really be careful where you play, which exchanges you're on, etc. So what was LiveCoin? A little bit of history here. It was a crypto exchange hacked in December 2020. As we recall, hackers were able to gain access to the exchange's infrastructure, manipulate the exchange rates of various cryptocurrencies, and this caused LiveCoin users to lose more than 3.3 million in funds. The exact details of the attack is still very unclear, but it's believed that the hackers were able to gain access to LiveCoin servers by compromising their DNS records. We spoke about OPSEC for your home and the importance of DNS settings, so check that out as well. And this is what allowed the hackers to manipulate the exchange rates of different cryptos. And as a result of the attack, LiveCoin was forced to shut down. The exchange management team advises users not to deposit any funds into LiveCoin accounts and warned that the company would not be able to return hacked funds that had been deposited. Now, rule of thumb is you're dead right. Do not share personal information over email with anybody, even if you know them. And no login credentials, no credit card numbers, no other personal information, and be careful of phishing and social engineering attacks. Now, what you can do is there is a blockchain explorer here, and Bitcoin transactions can be tracked on chain. And since Bitcoin is a public ledger, all transactions can be looked up using a blockchain explorer. And you can do this with the following: obtain the Bitcoin address that held your Bitcoin, or obtain the transaction ID. It's called the TX ID. Either will work. And the TX ID is that unique identifier that is assigned to every single transaction. And go to a blockchain explorer such as btc.com or blockchain.com or blockchair.com. And these websites allow you to search for a specific TX ID or a Bitcoin address and enter that TX ID, the transaction ID, in the search bar and hit search. And the Explorer will display all information about the transaction, including the amount sent and received and the date and time of the transaction and the transaction fees paid and where the Bitcoin was transferred to. Again, sometimes you're going to have to jump around as well. You're going to have to look at the transaction. They probably sent it to a couple of other places. But that's one thing that you can do. There's also firms that do this research on your behalf, but I think, in all fairness, it would be very, very difficult to track.